Hello and welcome back to this tutorial. In our previous video, we learned how to use some of the standard libraries that are built in Python. In this video, we are going to be learning how to use third-party libraries or packages or modules. So I believe when I say libraries, you know the meaning, and when I say packages and modules, you know their respective meanings, okay? So in this video, the first thing we are going to do is to create a virtual environment. So what is a virtual environment? So while we are working with pandas and matplotlib and probably open excel or pyexcel, open pyexcel that we installed. So we just installed the libraries or the modules globally, right? So if I say pip freeze, so now I am inside desktop and modules, right? If I say pip freeze, right, and I hit enter, so I'm going to drag this up a bit so that we'll see all the outputs. So we see now that all these modules and packages, they are installed in this current working directory. Meanwhile, this is not where we were when we were working with matplotlib and pandas. Okay, so but these libraries were installed globally. So anywhere you go inside this PC and you do this pip freeze, you are going to see all of this. So you can work with all of these libraries anywhere in your system, even if you don't install them again in the future. All right, unless you uninstall them. But let's say you're working on a huge project and you need to install several libraries, several modules, several packages. And by the time you install all of this globally in your system, it may start affecting your operating system because of the load. Or let's say you need to work with a certain version of matplotlib or pandas. So I am going to run this pip freeze again. I am going to see that all of this has their version numbers. You see that matplotlib is version 3.10.8, numpy version 2 point that, openexcel version 2 point that, and the rest of them, right? So let's say there are instances that you will need to stick to a particular version of that package. And if you install it globally, maybe you're working on two projects and one you need version, let's say this matplotlib, you need version 3, not 3.10, right? And in another version, because of the improvements that you already made, you need version 3.10, right? Now, this is where a virtual environment comes in. So now I am inside this module and packages folder. I can decide to create a virtual environment that is peculiar to this environment. And what will it do for me? I'll be able to install all the packages that I need for this project inside that virtual environment. And whenever I want to use those packages, I will activate them. So even if I am working inside this project and the virtual environment is not activated, I cannot use them. Okay, so now this is what a virtual environment means. It's just like a structure in Python that allows you to structure or to customize your workspace for the kind of project that you're working with. So, and how do we create a virtual environment? Well, we create a virtual environment by running this command, python -m. So this m stands for make, vnv, and this means virtual environment. Then you give another space and write in the name that you want to call your virtual environment. So the convention is that you name it vnv or env, but if for instance you want to name it after your project, so I can decide to name it package, right? Just to show you. Okay, so I can decide to name it package and I'll hit enter. So now you see now that a folder called package has been created here for us, and VS Code is telling me we noticed a new virtual environment has been created. Do you want to select it for the workspace folder? Well, for now I am going to say no so that this will go out, and because I want us to activate it manually. All right, so I am going to clear this terminal. And the next thing we are going to do is to activate this virtual environment. So how do you activate your virtual environment? Well, you activate your virtual environment by typing in a simple command. Now, the command might differ depending on the operating system you are working with. As you can see, I'm using my git bash terminal. So I am going to run the command that I can use with the git bash terminal. And that is the one that is peculiar. You can use also because this git bash terminal is like a Linux operating system. So you can check out your browser on how to activate your virtual environment depending on the terminal that you are using. Then I'm going to write, well, source, then I'm going to write the name of the virtual environment. So the name is package, then I'll write my forward slash, and then I'll write capital letters S for scripts, then activate. So once I write this and hit enter, okay, this is happening because I use capital letter S. So I'm going to remove that and I'll change it to small letter. So by now everything should work out fine. So I'm going to clear my terminal, and just at the top of the name of my working directory, you can see that this package just appeared. Okay, so now that my virtual environment is activated, I'm going to run that command again, pip freeze, and you will see that all those packages that were installed are no longer here. We can't access them from here. All right, so anything we want to do within this working environment, we might not be able to use those packages that were installed because these packages are more or less no longer active in this virtual environment. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to remove this virtual environment. So I can just quickly come here and delete this folder and the virtual environment will be gone, but I want to remove it from the terminal. So I'm going to just write this bash command. So I'm going to write remove, then dash rf, and I'll call the name of the folder. So I'm going to type in package here. And the reason I want to remove this is because I want to create a proper virtual environment that will not stress me to call. So I will just hit this and you can see now that package has been removed. So, and I'm going to write this command. Okay, now that is because um I did not deactivate the virtual environment before removing it. So I'm stuck with this package. So I might as well create it again, right? So I might as well create it again by writing python -m vmv and then package. So now we have it again. So I'm going to run the deactivate command in order to deactivate this before I remove it. So I'm going to deactivate this. And now that package thing has disappeared. And I'm going to now remove it again finally. So now I'm going to create a proper virtual environment. So python -m vnv, and I'm going to call it env. So I will just use that. Now we have our virtual environment. This will not stress me. So now what is going to happen now is that I am going to install those packages that we were using in our formal projects, and I'm going to install them in this virtual environment. So, but before I do that, I will first of all activate the virtual environment. And how will I activate it? Okay, we have done that before. So I'm going to just use my arrow key to move to that formal command, and I'm going to change this package to the current name of our virtual environment. So the current name is env, and I'm going to run this. So, and here we have our virtual environment activated. So what I'm going to do now is that I am going to install matplotlib and pandas inside this virtual environment. So I'm going to write my pip command. So now we can see now that Python is warning us that this package is already in our global workspace, that it could conflict. So I am going to just close this and allow our matplotlib to install for us. So our matplotlib has successfully been installed, And again, I'm going to use pip to install pandas because we are still going to be working with them. So pip install pandas. So now our pandas has successfully been installed, and I'm going to clear my terminal. So if we come to this env and we open the lib, we are going to see a bunch of items here. So all the items that we just installed were installed inside this lib slash site packages. Okay, so now we have successfully created a virtual environment. So the pandas and the matplotlib that we just installed and any other module that you will need to install before you can start using it, right? They are called third-party modules. All right. So in our next videos, we are going to use these modules, both third-party and standard modules or libraries, to create our own custom modules in these packages, right? And then we are going to import them in this main.py, and then we'll be able to run them as a main file. All right. So I hope you understand what is happening, and thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next video.